We'll call this meeting to order. And this is a special meeting of the Municipal Council of the Township of Edwardsburg Cardinal. And it's called to deal with a number of time-sensitive issues that are coming due. So the first item, of course, the next item is approval of the agenda, and Deputy Mayor Deschamps, I think you have the motion.
I do. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor John. Municipal Council approves the agenda as presented.
Okay, thank you very much. And those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Thank you. And moving on. Next item on the agenda is disclosure of pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof. Are there any disclosures with this agenda?
None by Councillor.
Chair notes no disclosures this evening, and the minutes will so reflect. Item number 4 on the agenda, under action and information items coming forward from committee. 4A is a resolution dealing with the OPP detachment framework. Councillor Cameron, I believe you have that motion.
I do, Mr. Mayor, thank you. And it's moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Dillabaugh. Whereas in 2019, the Ontario Legislature passed Bill 68, the Comprehensive Ontario Police Services Act, which made significant changes to 2 key priorities. Number 1, improving government, and 2, providing allowance for the civilians' play in delivering public safety and security. And whereas on March 18th, 2021, the Solicitor General, Sylvia Jones, issued a letter to the heads of municipal councils across Ontario advising of the new OPP Detachment Board framework and the process to submit a formal proposal to establish the detachment boards that would best reflect community and local needs. And whereas on April 21st, 2021, the mayors and police service board representatives of the Township of Augusta, the Township of Edwardsburg Cardinal, Township of Merrickville-Wolford, Municipality of North Grenville, and the Town of Prescott met and reached consensus to the proposed configuration for the new OPP Detachment Board, which incorporates 3 detachment boards to reflect the community needs of the member municipalities. Now and therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Edwardsburg Cardinal endorses the joint submission of the Grenville County OPP Detachment Board proposal to the Solicitor General, Sylvia Jones, on or before June 28th, 2021. And further, that Council direct staff to work with the partnered board municipalities to develop terms of reference for the board and return to Council for approval. And further, that this resolution be forwarded to the Solicitor General, the Township of Augusta, Township of Merrickville-Wolford, Township of North Grenville, and the Town of Prescott.
Thank you very much.
I thought there was more, but there isn't.
Okay, thank you. And so the motion is on the floor. Further discussion, if any? Hearing none, I vote to call the question. Those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. Thank you. And now I'm moving on. Just give me 1 second, please. To item number 4B, which is the interim control bylaw to undertake a study for the industrial park. Deputy Mayor Deschamps.
Yes, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor John Hunter. Whereas Section 7.2.4 of the Township of Edwardsburg Cardinal Official Plan permits Council to consider the use of an interim control bylaw after establishing a planning justification and demonstrating a need to conduct a review or study of land use planning policies in respect of a defined area. And whereas Council has determined that it is in the best interest of the municipality that it pass an interim control bylaw to prohibit the use of all land, buildings, and structures within the defined area. except for such purposes, as are set out in bylaw, until council has received and considered the results of the planning review and determined whether further amendments to the official plan and the zoning bylaw are necessary. Now therefore be it resolved that the council of the corporation of the Township of Edwardsburg Cardinal direct that staff undertake a review of land use planning policies as they relate to all of the lands described in the attached Schedule A of this resolution, herein referred to as the defined area. And further that, the purpose of the planning is to review and assess the land use context and make recommendations to council with respect to whether amendments to the official plan and or its implementing zoning bylaw are necessary to reflect different set of policies and related land uses for the defined area in order to accommodate the orderly development and to support the long-term growth and vitality of the settlement area in Johnstown Industrial Park. And Schedule A is attached.
Thank you very much. And the motion is on the floor. Discussion, if any? Hearing none, I'm about to call a question on the motion. Those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. Thank you. And moving on again, I'm now at the section 5 of the agenda, which is bylaws. And the first is the site plan control agreement for Prisbian. Councillor Dillabaugh, I believe you have that bylaw.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moved by myself and seconded by Council Cameron that the mover be granted leave to introduce a bylaw to authorize an amendment to the site plan control agreement and power cables registered as instrument PRO 177795 as authorized by bylaw 2003-12. And this shall constitute the first and second reading thereof.
So thank you very much. First and second reading on the site plan control agreement amendment. Discussion, if any? Hearing none, those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried unanimously and the bylaw can proceed to third reading, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Council Cameron, that the bylaw to authorize amendment to the site plan control agreement, Prisbian Power Cable, registered as an instrument PRO 177795, as authorized by bylaw 2003-12 be now read the third time, finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 2021-32.
And third reading of the bylaw. Discussion, if any? Hearing none. Those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried unanimously again. Passes third reading. So, Mr. Edwards,
Congratulations.
your site plan control agreement amendment is formalized.
Thank you very much.
And best of luck with your construction.
Yeah.
All right, I'm proceeding now to bylaw number 5B, which is an interim control bylaw for the industrial park expansion lands. Deputy Mayor Deschamps.
Yes, thank you. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor John Hunter, that the mover be granted leave to introduce a bylaw to authorize an in-control bylaw prohibiting the use of land, buildings, and structures within a defined area of the township, and this shall constitute first and second reading thereof.
Thank you very much. Discussion of any for first and second reading. Hearing none, I'm about to call the question. Those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried unanimously. The bylaw can proceed to third reading, please.
Yes, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor John Hunter, that a bylaw to authorize an interim control bylaw prohibiting the use of land, buildings, and structures within a defined area of the township be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 2021-33.
Thank you very much. Calling for discussion on third reading. Go ahead.
Just one quick comment. I made it for the committee meeting, but this will be a different recording. I just think that it is worth noting that the reason that we are using the interim control bylaw is simple. In my mind, that it is something that we should have undertaken during official planning process. It is going back to that and not correcting, but taking a step that we should have maybe taken into consideration back then.
Fair comment. Further discussion? Hearing none, about to call the question on the motion. Those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. Thank you. Bylaw survives third reading, becomes effective. All right, item number 6 on the agenda is the question period. Are there any questions? No questions from the press? No other questions? All right, now item number 7 on the agenda is a closed session. Council will have to go into closed session. So I'd like to have the motion to go into closed session and then we'll just have a short adjournment. Councillor Hunter.
Move myself, second by Deputy Mayor Deschamps, that the municipal council proceed in closed session at 8:10 in order to address matter pertaining to section 239 2D, labor relations or employee negotiations, specifically union negotiations.
Thanks, Councillor.
The question to go into closed. Those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. All right, we'll have a
Move myself, second. Move myself, second by Deputy Mayor Deschamps, closed meeting of the municipal council is now adjourned and the open meeting is now resumed at 8:46 p.m.
Thank you, sir.
right, coming out of the closed session, 8:46. Those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. All right, so in this case, the chair does not have to report out of the closed session because Deputy Mayor Deschamps is going to bring forward a motion.
Will. And that's moved by myself, second by Councillor John Hunter. The municipal council approves the tentative agreement and directs staff to prepare a bylaw to authorize final agreement execution.
There we go. Those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. And at this point, we can then congratulate not only the township negotiating team, but also the union negotiating team for working together to come to a tentative agreement. And we congratulate both of them, both teams equally for working to this agreement. So thank you for that. And then I'm looking for the confirmatory bylaw for the for the special council meeting. And I think Councillor Cameron, you have that.
I do, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. It's moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Hunter that a bylaw to adopt, confirm, and ratify by resolution be now passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 2021-34.
Thank you very much. Voting on the confirmatory bylaw, those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. And then chair's looking for the motion to adjourn. Councillor Dillawa.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Cameron, that the municipality council does now adjourn at 8:49 p.m.
Thank you very much. And those in favor of adjournment?
Oh.
Motion is carried. Thank you.